how's it going guys? My name is Ray and today I'm going to show you a super simple sweet treat, Jam Tartlets. Let's treat.
So we're gonna start our recipe in a food processor. Combine 100 grams of butter with 1.5 cup of flour as well as 2/3 cup of powdered sugar, and just blitz it until you get a wet sand consistency. So at the end of it, it should look something like this. Then to that we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla bean paste as well as 1 egg yolk. Then blitz it again until the dough comes together. Then dump the mixture into a mixing bowl. Knead it together until it forms a dough. Flatten the dough into a disc. Cover it with cling wrap and just let it chill in the fridge for about 15 minutes. After the resting time, just transfer the dough onto a working bench lined with cling wrap. That's just to make the dough transfer and the cleanup a little bit easier later. Next, you just have to brush some flour onto the rolling pin and the dough and roll it out into a 2mm thickness like this. And after that, grab the tart tin that you're gonna use and use it as a cookie cutter. The reason we're doing this instead of cutting excess dough around the edges is because this is a tartlet, so you don't need tall sides. So we're only looking to fill up about half of the tart tin. Then just transfer each of the cut up dough into the tin. Just press it down evenly and make sure all the sides are even. And that's pretty much what you're after. And now all you have to do is just to continue with the rest of the dough until you got no dough left. And with the trimming, you can just bring it together and form it into a dough once again, and then roll it out into the same thickness as before. And from that, you should be able to make 1 or 2 more tartlets. Next is to poke some holes onto the tartlets with a fork. This is just to prevent the base from rising too much during the baking process and causing uneven base. Next, use some scrunch up baking paper to cover up the base of the tart. Fill it up with some pie weights. Then blind bake it in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 15 minutes. After that, just remove the paper and pie weights and brush the bottom of the tarts with some egg whites. This is optional, but I think it prevents the tart from getting soggy too soon if you're gonna keep it more than a day. But given how good these tarts are, this step is completely optional because I don't think it's gonna last more than a day. So after you do that, just put it back in the oven for a further 5 minutes. And when you've done that, fill up the middle with some jam of your choice. Today I'm filling up half of them with strawberry jam and the other half with raspberry jam. But I've tried blueberries and even cherry jam before, and they work beautifully as well with this recipe. So any jam that you like, you can just put it in these tartlets. The amount of jam you're gonna put in each tartlet vary depending on the consistency and also the size of the tart. But rule of thumb is gonna be about 2 tablespoons. But just keep in mind the jam is gonna be bubbling in the oven, so you just don't want it to overflow. After all the tarts have been filled, just put it back in the oven for a further 10 to 15 minutes. Or until they're a little bit bubbly like so. Then you're just gonna let it rest on the bench until it's completely cooled down and safe to touch. Then just remove each and every one of them from the tin And you know it's a success when your jam is glossy like that and it's not runny at all. It should be like a gooey candy consistency right now. So I'm just gonna cut one to show you the cross section. And this is what it should look like when it's been done properly. The jam and the tart base should be around equal thickness, and it shouldn't be runny at all. It should be slightly sticky and shouldn't smudge when you touch it. So there you have it guys, my take on the classic sweet treat slash cookies, one of my childhood favorites, Jam Tartlets.
I hope you liked that super simple recipe, and if you did, please leave this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram and Twitter to get the latest update on my videos. And here are links to my previous videos, so don't forget to check that out as well. And if you have anything in mind that you want to see me cook, don't hesitate to leave a comment below. And yeah, that will be all for today's video. See you next week guys, bye!